Hi and welcome back to another video. So today you are joining me back in the kitchen and we are taking a look at the Morphy Total Control Soup Maker. Basically an all-in-one device that allows you to pop in all sorts of vegetables and fruit and other items in to make a wonderful soup, whether it be smooth, chunky or in the middle. Basically this does it all. It's auto self-cleaning, it's got an absolute raft of other things in there as well, so let's get into it and let's start making some soup. So I think first things first, we need to see exactly what comes in the box. So in the box, what we get is we get the actual unit itself, which is the Morphy Total Control Soup Maker. It's a lovely gloss white with black accents. It's got really nice, simple to read buttons on the top, and also as well a wonderfully light display on the top, giving you an indication of exactly what mode that you're in and also as well the time that's left in the cooking process. We also as well have a lovely handle on the top. This is quite a heavy duty handle. Now this is to basically allow you to separate the unit, and what you can see is you can see the blade which allows things to actually go from chunky to smooth, or if you blend in maybe some ice or things like that. It basically allows it to connect to the electric part to basically allow the blender to operate. So I'm going to just put that to the side. Inside the actual unit itself is the actual metal sheath. Now there's a little red button here which allows you to release it, and this basically allows you to do things like cleaning and also as well to make sure that all of the contacts for the actual use and the actual heating element is all correct. So I'm going to put that back in. So on the back here is where the actual power cable goes. So it's very simple to do, just pop it into the back and then pop your plug into the electric socket. So what I'm going to do is pop up the lid, and what we have is we have an operational unit there. So we also as well get an instruction manual, and the instruction manual is quite comprehensive. We get a little warning in the bottom of the actual unit itself, but inside here it gives you an idea of exactly how to use the unit, what to actually do, but also as well a whole listing of different things like soups, drinks like peanut butter milkshake, things like blueberry and oat breakfast smoothie, and also as well a whole listing of FAQs and warranty details. It actually comes with a 2-year guarantee, so again, peace of mind when it comes to actually using this. So Morphy really have put in time and effort into actually making a very reliable product. So I'm just going to pop these to the side, and what I think we need to do is take a look at the actual menu system on the top, and then let's start cooking up some soup. So these are the menu systems. What we have is we've got a mode button, a start and stop, and a portion button. This is going to allow us to press the mode button and select which one that we would like. So in effect here, if I'm wanting to go to chunky, I just press this a couple of times and that gives me my chunky setting. If I want to select that and go with it, I just press the start button, and what that's going to do is it's going to start the process, and we get 25 minutes for cooking time. I'm just going to stop that now. So we can just press and hold and it just stops that program. If I want to select over to reheat, I can just press the mode button all the way around and press start, and that's going to do that. I can also as well do blending and also as well a pre-clean. So again, just popping in some water into the actual unit and press start, and it starts off that process. So it's a very simple menu, but I would recommend reading the instructions because there are some various things to tell you how to use these to the best of their ability, especially in regards to the saute and the drinks section. Okay, now that that's all plugged in, I think what we now need to do is pop the vegetables in, and let's make a nice little chunky veg soup. So what I've got here is I've got some turnip and some carrots, I've got some parsnip and onions, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of saute in there to basically just saute up all the onions and just saute up some of the vegetables, and then we'll pop in the vegetable stock and start off the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in the actual items. So very simple to do. All we do is just pop them in. So I'm just going to start off with the onions and the parsnips first, and then we'll pop in the rest of it. So all I'm doing is just popping the lid back on, and it's very simple to do. All we do is we just press the little mode button, and we just select that all the way over to saute, and we just press start. And what that's going to do is it's going to warm up the actual unit itself. And as we can see on the top here, it just shows the actual timing and just shows how long that's been going. Now what that's going to do is just start that sauteing process. I'll need to lift off that lid, give it a little bit of a stir later. Now you don't have to do that. Now I'm just doing that just to demonstrate how quick and easy it is. And I can already hear that starting to saute itself. And as I say, you don't need to do it. You can literally just put everything in if it's not needing that, and just press chunky or smooth and press start, and away you go. So I'm going to finish off the sauteing on this, and then I'll come back to you when we pop in the rest and the vegetable stock and some herbs. So see you in a few minutes. So that's the rest of the vegetables in there, and they've just been sauteing off for a short while. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in some pepper and some salt, and we're going to finish it off with some vegetable stock. So I'm just going to pop this lid off. Now again, be careful because it is quite warm, and again there may be some steam in there and things like that. So I'm going to pop in some salt, I'm going to pop in lots of pepper. Big fan of the pepper in the vegetable soups. So pop them over to the side. I'm just going to put a bit of rosemary in there just to make it nice and wintry. And then what we're going to finish off with is just some vegetable stock. So just pop in as much as you need. Now that isn't enough for this one, so what I'm going to do is just top that up with the kettle. Okay, so I've topped that up, and it's pretty much about 1800 millilitres, so about 1.8 litres in there. It's looking nice and full now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the lid back on, and I'm going to set this to basically a medium. So I'm going to go for a medium, so I'm just going to move my little dial over, and I'm going to press the mode to medium, and then just press start. And what that's going to do is that's just going to start the process. We've got about 22 minutes to go, and that's just going to cook that for me. So now that I've pressed the start button, it's got about 22 minutes to go, and that's going to basically do everything for me. So I don't need to have to worry about any of the blending, I don't have to worry about any of the actual timings or stirring or anything like that. This whole system is going to do it all for me. It's all self-contained. There's not going to be any of the actual steam going anywhere. It's all within this one unit. On the actual midsection of here, there is actually quite a large rubber sort of seal on it to ensure that it keeps all of them wonderful smells, aromas, and also as well all of the taste inside the actual soup itself. So I think what we're going to do is just let it get on with what it needs to do, and I'll come back to you in 20 minutes and 57 seconds. So that's 25 minutes all done and dusted, and basically the soup is complete. Basically every 5 minutes what will happen is the blending unit will just whir up and just chop up some of that veg based upon which one you've actually selected on the program settings. So in this case we went for a medium, so it's just ended up doing it every so often. If you go on a smooth, it does it even more often, so it'll do it every 2 or 3 minutes. And this is just to basically make the cooking process quicker, but also as well to make sure that it's absolutely perfect results at the end. So at the moment what it's set on is it's set at keep warm. So when it's completed its cycle, it will just sit in a dormant state, keeping the actual soup inside there nice and warm and ready to eat whenever you need it. So I'm going to pop off the lid. I'm going to be very, very careful because again this actual unit is quite hot on the metal side. On the plastic it's just warm. I wouldn't want to keep my hand there too long, but the actual metal side is very hot indeed. So I just pop up the lid. Just once again, make sure that you're very careful in lifting this up, because again, all of the steam, all of the juices, all of that wonderful soup, there's just bits here, there and everywhere from when it was blended up. So I've just set that over to the side. I've got a nice little ladle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a nice ladle. And again, this is this is quite nice. It's basically chopped it up really nice, and I would say smaller than I expected. I didn't expect it to be this smaller pieces, but everything is absolutely uniform. I mean, I didn't put in too big a chunks. They weren't exactly the most uniform when I put them in. Some of the pieces were larger than the rest. But this, I have to say, looks so good indeed. So I'm just going to set that over to the side. So realistically, it's a very, very quick way of being able to create soups, shakes, smoothies, but also as well make different types of things that you might not want to create on the hob. So again, with the standard sort of soup, what you've got to do is you've got to chop up your veg. You've got to do the same with this. You've got to pop it all in. You've got to saute it. You know, maybe you've got some onions in there, or maybe you've got a bit of bacon or something like that. And you've got to make sure that you've got all of that correct and all done and dusted before you even start the cooking process in regards to sort of putting in your stock and then stirring it every so often. The great thing is it takes the sort of bulk of the work, you know, minding over an open stove for many, many minutes. This basically allows you to put it all in one place. If you don't even want to saute, you can literally just dump everything in, press the button, and away you go. You know, 25 minutes later, you've got a wonderful soup. The wonderful thing that really for me this brings as benefit is the fact that I don't have to stand there. So I can chop up all my veg, I can pop them all in here, press the button, and literally if I want to go out for the afternoon and I want a lovely soup to come home to, it's already just sat there keeping warm, ready for me. And the cleanup is so easy. I'll press that pre-clean once I've completed, put a bit of water in, tiny bit of detergent, press pre-clean. And again, it's going to clean it all for me, just a quick wipe down after I've completed. Like I say though, the great thing about this is that it's convenience. You know, you're not having to stand over the stove and stir it every so often. You're not having to get a hand blender and blend it all up to the standard that you want. Again, you know, with a hand blender, you're having to make sure that you get all the bits around the whole of the pan. This is actually doing it all for you in one place. Now, I'm looking at this and absolutely everything is just perfectly uniform, the whole lot, all them carrots, all them parsnips, you know, the turnip in there, everything looks wonderful. I mean, absolutely, let's give it a try. And again, I probably, if it was me and I was cooking it, I would say that veg just needs a little bit longer. So what I'd probably do is I'd probably put it on just for a little bit longer. I'll leave it in there to keep warm for a little bit longer, just to make sure that that veg is a little bit more, I would say it's more of an al dente veg, but I would say that's very nice indeed. Maybe just a little bit more pepper for me though. So the only problem that I've found with this unit itself is the power cord is actually quite small. So when I've actually got this all plugged in, it was quite an effort to be able to get it to come over to here within shot. So the actual cord itself is probably 1/2 meter long. It would have been nice to have had maybe 1 meter long, or had the option to actually get a longer lead. So all in all, I've been really impressed with the results that it's actually given me, but also as well the speed that it actually did it. So 25 minutes to get a wonderful tasting soup is not long at all. But I think also as well, it looks lovely in the kitchen. The white really sets it off nicely. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, click that like button. If you've got any questions whatsoever about the Total Control Soup Maker from Morphy Richards, please pop them in the comments section down below. And if you want to stay tuned for more videos, click that subscribe button with notification bell. Look forward to seeing you in another video.